All right, welcome back, everyone. It's 1:30 right now, and we're going to jump into a conversation that has really been taken off online, and there are so many questions here. The FBI saying Monday that they will, in fact, lead an effort to hunt for any possible connections between maybe seemingly unrelated deaths or disappearances of several scientists and government workers over the past few years. I struggle with saying seemingly unrelated because our next guest believes, there's been a through line all along. And so Jon Stewart is here. He's a UFO investigator and filmmaker. We've had you on the show before, sir. Thank you for making time for us yet again.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Tell me your thoughts as we finally at least hear from the federal government, the FBI, that an investigation will be launched.
Well, even if you had the death of 10 race car drivers, even though it would be different types of racing, you would probably still raise your eyebrow. I just want to come on here and tell the truth that I feel after researching and investigating this. I've been kind of following a reporter named Stephen Greenstreet, who was throwing up a red flag about this, that many of these are not related. People are compressing the time frame between deaths. Some of these people never held top secret clearances or positions. And that's why you have me on this show. You want me to do the digging and to tell your viewers the truth. And I'm telling you the truth. However, there are two deaths that to me are shocking, and without a doubt, you cannot ignore that this has happened and that these two died, even though they were a year apart. They were both in a propulsion metallurgy field. One person oversaw the company that funded this other woman that disappeared. But I'm here today to talk about two-star General William Neal McCaslin, who disappeared in February. He was this is shocking. He was, in 2009 and 2011, Director of Special Projects in the DOD. Folks, this was the man that led all kinds of the back engineering, the actual engineering of special black programs, special craft, highly top secret craft. And as many people will tell you and have told me, this includes reverse engineered non-human intelligent craft, or as they call it, reproduction alien craft. This man sat at the top of that program in the Pentagon from 2009 to 11. And I want to talk about his disappearance and how shocking, and all of the modalities of his disappearance just do not make any sense.
And so did they not make any sense from the beginning to you, or was there a distinct point at which you said, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Well, the president calls for the UFO files to be released on the heels of many Congress people, Tim Burchett, Anna Paulina Luna, Nancy Mace, Eric Burleson, who's done a great job. And all of a sudden, days if not weeks later, the man who UFO investigators back in 16, not recently, back in 16, called this man sitting at the top, the gatekeeper of the UFO phenomenon, what they call the legacy program. Now pay attention here. This man leaves his house. He does not take his cell phone. He does not take his eyeglasses. He does not take any iPhone periphery like earpods. He leaves his wallet. The only thing he takes during the mid-afternoon is a .38 revolver. He disappears and never to be seen again. They contact his wife. I'm not making her part of the story, but she's not hyperbolic. She's not apoplectic. She's not crying. She's not upset. She makes a joke, a tongue-in-cheek statement about, well, just because my husband was in these, unique programs at the Pentagon, don't think that he went missing because of any UFO or little green men. I'm going to tell you something. If I disappear and my wife, Joanne, doesn't go on TV and isn't crying and, isn't distraught, and she's making jokes about pro wrestling because I used to be a wrestler, or she's making jokes about me investigating UFOs, I'm sorry. That's drawing a red flag. I'm not saying that she was culpable in his disappearance. I'm saying I think this woman knew that either this was going to happen, that he tipped her off, that he was going to meet people that were in this program. Somehow, some way, this woman is not as concerned as I think most women would be if their husband suddenly disappeared. And I don't think I'm being, I don't think anyone listening to me would disagree with me. Again, I'm not doing a cause and effect. I'm not saying she's related. I'm saying this man was either abducted, was taken, knew he was going to meet people that were going to take him to some location, and this woman isn't upset. And to me, that draws a red flag.
Okay. So this is one person amidst.
At this point, you're probably not avoiding therapy because of stigma. You're probably avoiding therapy because you've become very good at
Feel like there is any connection to the other 9.
I think it's unique. I think it raises an eyebrow, a slight red flag. But there are, again, folks, I want you to listen to me. This was a story. This 10 disappearing scientists or murdered scientists was propagated by the New York Post and the Daily Mail. We have 4 or 5 people investigating this for the past 3 months. I am one of them. There are great time spans. There is a recent suicide of a woman named Amy. I forget her last name, Eckridge, and she had mental problems. So says her parents. She was not an accredited scientist. She claimed people were following her, and committed suicide. So I don't feel that this is part and parcel. You have, again, other people that disappeared or were murdered that didn't hold top secret clearances or top secret positions. You have a murder of a scientist who was an biologist or physicist who found an unknown planet. But what's striking to me is McCaslin and another woman called Monica Riza, who disappeared a year before McCaslin disappeared. These two both worked in aerospace propulsion, and McCaslin oversaw the company that funded Monica Riza in her research in material sciences. So two scientists, aerospace propulsion, material scientists, one overseeing the other, and both go disappearing. Monica Riza, her friend said that Monica was 30 feet in front of him. She literally disappeared in the mountain range in Southern California. He said it was almost magical how she just disappeared within 30 feet of them. Those two people, in my opinion, draw the red flag in the raised eyebrow. And when you couple that with McCaslin's position as in my opinion, the gatekeeper of the UFO alien retention extraterrestrial program, and that he goes missing, doesn't take anything from his house except the .38 revolver. That man, this is like a Chicago outfit mafia hit. You get the phone call, you get sent for, and McCaslin takes the revolver, in my opinion, to either, if this meeting went wrong, he was going to get out of it, or to try and to extricate himself if the people that he was meeting were going to abscond with him or abduct him, which it clearly shows that someone has taken him. In my opinion, no body has been found, no trace has been found, and I believe that he is held somewhere, either, just listen to me here, either to keep the secrets he knows from coming out with this new Trump disclosure movement, or to find out exactly what he does know. those two reasons, both nefarious, in
Well,
my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely leads to, as you were speaking before you said the disclosure, that is kind of what I was thinking about, the age of disclosure coming out, and then President Trump saying release the files, and now we're having this type of discussion, and we still haven't gotten the files.
Right. Well, it was one of your highest. I'm not patting myself on the back, but when I went on 2 months ago with Sylvia and Mark, it was one of your highest rated YouTube podcast clips, because people know something's up. The American people know something is going on. We don't know exactly what. We do know this: something is above our skies. The government is not doing anything about it, and they're obfuscating what they do know, if anything, about these objects. There is no doubt about it. And yes, if you don't think that there is a cause and effect and a tangential relationship between the president of the United States basically saying we have information on UFOs and aliens, the Jon Stewart from Deerfield isn't crazy, in weeks, if not days later, the gatekeeper of the UFO secret, the UFO legacy program, a 2-star general, walks out of his house and is never seen again. And if you don't draw a conclusion between those two occurrences, you're fooling yourself. And I don't know what to say to someone who's thinking like that.
So then what do you think we'll get from the FBI about this case? I mean, because yet again, it's sensitive information, and the federal government coming forth to say, yes, we're on it. We'll investigate it. What do you think we're going to get?
I just had a phone call before I found out I was coming on your show with a man who had dinner with General McCaslin a year and a half ago. I don't want to say this is off the record, but this is total circumstantial and conjecture, that they're worried that a foreign government took McCaslin. But I say to that is, he took a gun. He knew he was going out to meet somebody. It's not like he was just, taken from his home. By the way, there was a handyman at his home when he left. So he knew he was going to meet someone. And I don't think you meet someone in the desert if you feel they're going to do harm. I think the gun was protection. That's what I think the FBI is going to find. And beyond that, I mean, the FBI doesn't know anything about the alien phenomenon. They have been firewalled by many 3-letter agencies. You can see that lack of communication proliferate on 9/11 when none of the agencies are talking to each other. They're still not talking to each other. Believe me on that. So I don't think the FBI is going to find exactly where McCaslin is. This was too secretive of an operation, in my opinion. So it's either our government keeping him quiet in a facility, or it's another government. I don't think so. Or if it was somebody from another government, it was somebody that he possibly knew and trusted, or it's our government keeping him and asking him the full MO on the entire extraterrestrial program, because they know, the government, they are going to be releasing the information. And as far as what you're going to see, I told Sylvia and months ago, you're going to see some JFK faded documents. You might see a little blippy UFO on the screen. You're not going to see a 4K resolution craft come down with alien beings coming out. That is going to be brought out, in my opinion, by men that have been helping me over the years, men from former intelligence operatives, former people in the military that want to come clean, want to unburden themselves, that might have these tapes, this film, these videos in their drawer, in their office, in their storage locker. And now the president has given the signal, go ahead, release it. And they're going to do it. They're going to release it aside from the United States government. That is where you're going to see the shock and awe. And like I've said this over and over again, the ontological shock by the entire world and our country when you see a being coming down from a craft at some Air Force base in the 1970s. Listen to Jon Stewart here. I'm telling you, get ready. Get ready. That's all I can tell you.
All right, John. Wonderful speaking with you again. Who knows when we'll talk to you, but I'm sure we'll be following up. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me, and good luck to everybody. Good luck to yourself. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you. About 1:45, everyone. Give us 2 minutes. We'll be back.